What up, though? This is Rome the Great. Please say the great. I wanted to have a conversation today. I wanted to talk about Joe Biden's safe smoking kits, aka the $30 million crack pipe. Now, I've been sitting back and I wanted to do mine later. There's a reason why I wanted to do mine later. Because everybody was doing it. Everybody's up in arms. Oh my God, the Democrats, they spending $30 million for some crack pipes. You know, I'm not surprised. Y'all tripping. What about reparations? Oh, y'all ain't outraged about that. No, that ain't no big deal. Forget that. What about everybody's rights? Literally, everybody's rights in the whole United States mean more than the African American. Oh, don't be outraged about that. What about Tuskegee? What about them testing our men with sexually transmitted diseases without telling them? Is that a big deal? You ain't tripping about that. Why should I worry about that? We worried about $30 million in crack pipes. Now, mind you, this is a horrid thing. I'm in no way saying that it's a good thing that he spent all that money in crack pipes. And you know what get me about the situation? The only thing that moves me a little bit. I get moved a little bit because I ain't shocked. Is the fact he said for racial equality. Ain't that a bitch? But you surprised? What about when they were cutting out women's reproductive organs so they couldn't have babies? These are facts. They used to send them to insane asylums. These are facts. She don't care about that. What about them shooting us with impunity? They shot a man on camera that did nothing but obey. You know, the one that gets me the worst is when the officer says, "Sir, can I see your license for your weapon?" And the man goes for his license and he gets shot on camera. The outrage is little about that. But crack pipes, we tripping. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. My question is, what's wrong with you? Have you not been alive all this time? Or maybe you're not paying attention. Or maybe they fooled you. Maybe you think you're equal. Maybe you think you're just as good as everybody else. Maybe you think with a dream and hard work I can make it. Maybe you think that. Maybe it could be for you. But for the long time that African people has been on the North American continent, it hasn't been so. You have to think about these things. Now, we have crack pipes, but we're not the only people that smoke crack. Did you ever think about that? Did you think white people smoke crack? Did you take a time to think that white people might smoke crack too? Mexicans smoke crack. Chinese people smoke crack. Everybody smoke crack. So why are we so upset? Because when I go on YouTube and I look, we tripping. You know, we sit here and we have these conversations on what we should do. And we make it so hard. Oh, what's the solution? Oh man, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to get together. Oh, it's going to have to be the men. No, it's going to have to be the women. Oh, what we going to do? What's the solution? Let me think. Solution. Raise your kids. Sorry about that. Simple. We don't need no brain trust, no think tank. We don't need to do none of that. It's simple. Raise your kids. Tell them don't do crack. Spend time with them. Now, you know, I'm an older gentleman, as my man Star would say, of a certain age. And when I see these new babies being born, as they get older, you know what I see? They all got some type of iPad, some type of phone, some type of electronics. You know what that's taken away from? Your teaching, your bonding, your nourishment. You know what it's bringing them closer to? Social media. Because they one click away. Yeah, sure, they watching Blues Clues now or wherever they watch. And tomorrow they on Facebook. Tomorrow they on YouTube. And guess who's teaching them? The world. The world that's currently going crazy right now. Because think about it. These problems that we're having today, we never had before. Everything is about emotions. Everything is about feelings. Nothing's about common sense. Nothing's about logic. So you teach your kids. Black women, you're the first teacher. So that means you're going to teach the boys and the girls. So we got to get you together. We have to get you some morals, some self-respect, some class. I'm not saying all black women, because there's a lot of classy, beautiful, powerful, strong black women out there. But I'm talking about as a whole. I'm talking about as a community. We have to get ourselves a culture. Think about it. What is your culture? You ask black people today what they culture, they say hip hop. Like that's a culture. Do Chinese people say General Tso's is their culture? No. You know why? Because it's stupid to name something you do a culture. It's sad if you think about it. Are firecrackers a culture? No. They're not. Do Mexican people say tacos is their culture? No, they don't. Because it's a part of a culture. It's part of something bigger. It's one part of something bigger, but we don't have that. Is that our fault? No. It's been stolen, hidden. But you know what we don't do? We don't do a damn thing to fix that. Not at all. We don't want to know what our culture is. We don't know where we came from. We don't want to know. You know what we want to do? We want to separate. And we want to make our own thing. And that's cool. I'm all with making our own thing. I'm definitely with that. See, but the problem is the own thing that you're making ain't your thing. Somebody else is back there pushing the narrative. Because whenever you got money, you got corruption. And whenever you got money, you got power. And absolute power always corrupts. So, with this hip hop culture, what are you gaining from it? It's dope. I love it. I'm in it myself. I've been a victim of it myself. I've made foolish decisions trying to emulate things said in such of a culture. You know what our culture should be is we're hardworking people. You know what our culture should be is we don't have abortions. You know what our culture should be is we get married. You know what our culture should be is we have black children as much as we can, because you can't control who you fall in love with. But the best thing you can do for the black community is have black children. And that's a fact, on fact, on fact. So let's stop worrying about Joe Biden. Why would you worry about Joe Biden? What president in the history of America ever gave a damn about you? That's the biggest lie ever told. It's a joke. It's funny. Man, I laugh. I sit and I hear, oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got to do that. We got to vote for this person. What makes him so much different than any other president? Man, just go back 100 years. Did the president do anything for you then? 200 years ago? Did the president do anything for you then? No. They tell you, hey, you have the right to vote. Guess what? Voter suppression. Sorry about that. It's the game they play. Shout out Dick Gregory. It's the game they play. And we fall for it every time. Guess what? You got affirmative action. Oh, but they're only hiring black women. Sorry about that. Guess what? We're going to give you welfare assistance, but you can't have a father in the home. Sorry about that. Your kids is going to be retarded because you're too busy running off and trying to do you. You're not spending time with that child, and you don't think you need a man. You know why you don't need a man? Because you got a couple stamps. Because you could buy some juicy fruit in the high C. You don't need a man to raise your kid. Ain't that something? Wake up. Stop being mad over stupid stuff. We control what we do and we don't do. If they hand out crack pipes, don't smoke crack. If there's crack all on the streets, teach your children not to do it. Because they're the future. I mean, we're already messed up. We've been messed up for years. And what's the solution to all these things? Come together collectively. One mind, hive mind, one accord. Fix our culture. Stand for something or fall for anything. And we're falling because we're acting surprised that the U.S. government don't care about black people. It's funny. When there's so many other things to be mad about, you're mad about a machine that distributes glass, which is a damn joke, which is racist as hell, insulting as hell, and a damn shame. But you know what? You worried about that. No, I'm more worried about COVID. You spend 30 million on that. Why don't you take that money and add it to all the other billions that you're giving to these scientists to try to fix the situation? Because COVID is something I can't control. There's nothing I could do to make sure I don't get COVID. I can stay in the house. I could wear my little mask. I can put sanitizer all on my hands. You know how they tell you to do that? Guess what? Still can get COVID. Your loved ones can give it to you. Your baby can give you COVID. Your kids go to school, right? Yeah, they wear a little thin blue mask, but they can still get COVID. The minute you touch that bus, the minute you breathe in that good fresh air, because they don't really know. They tell you what they think, but they don't really know. More things to worry about. I'm worried about them killing us. I'm scared to death to get pulled over in America. I'm more scared than that than smoking crack, because I ain't going to smoke crack. I ain't worried about it. You can put a pool of crack in the middle of the street. I ain't going to touch it, because I'm smart enough to know it's not good for me. I'm smart enough to know it's going to take my money and ruin my life. So what would I care if they literally put buckets of crack on the street? Take some time. Search yourself. Think about it. What are you in an uproar for? Not that. What haven't you been in an uproar for? That's the real question. Because I'm appalled that the government admitted that they had something to do with Martin Luther King's murder. And you don't care. You trust these people. You want to be a part of Western civilization. You're not trying to get your people together. You're not trying to form a African American culture. You're telling your kids to assimilate to theirs. Well, guess what? Our kids can't make the same mistakes. 1 out of 3 of us go to jail. Due to what? Over policing? Because there's more of them than there is of us. So they should be going to jail left and right. But no, we're doing it. We're going to jail. You know why? Because they sit out our neighborhoods and they just watch you and they mess with you for no reason. Because if you think about it, drugs like marijuana, they're becoming more and more legal. Every year a new state becomes legal. Some places you just get a fine if you get caught. But you know, they use that as the Trojan horse. Because with us, they need something called probable cause. This is the key to open up that door. You know, to all my black people that know the law, more power to you, because knowledge is power. And I'm not disrespecting that in no type of way. So I'm kind of, happy that you took the time to educate yourself. But you know what they do? They use that shield. I smell marijuana. Guess what they can do then? They can run up in your car. And once they run up in the car, God knows what else they gonna find. See, they could do the same thing with the other people, with other races. You know why? Because everybody loves marijuana. That's the thing. especially when you're younger. Everybody smokes marijuana, man. Shoot, I wish I knew the percentages of people who smoke marijuana and the percentages of people who don't, but I don't have them facts right now. But man, if you can guess, it's probably a lot of people smoking marijuana, right? So we can go up in them good neighborhoods, you know, the ones that ain't over policed, the ones with the good yard that gets cut by everybody else, you know what I mean? The society, the one that gets their snow shoveled and their streets salted, you know, them neighborhoods. You can do the same thing. Sit out there and just pull over random people, random good citizens, as you would say. What will we find there? We'd probably be shocked. There'd probably be hand ties, pictures, knives, syringes, needles, crack, you know, heroin, guns, bodies. Because, you know, people are all fucked up. Don't matter what race you are. There's people out here that do fucked up shit, and that's a fact. Nothing gonna save you from that. So why not police everybody? Because you're only getting a small. We're one of the smallest, if not the smallest, minorities in this country. So if you're only looking for us for crimes, statistically, you're missing out on a hell of a lot of other crimes. It looks like you're looking at the wrong people. But y'all ain't mad at that. No, you mad because they're putting crack pipes in a place that looks like they sell newspapers. That's what you mad at. And you want to say, oh, the Republicans will do this. Oh, the Democrats will do this. None of them in 400 years to 500 years ever done anything for you. Take some time, people. And this is what you want to spend your energy on? We dying. And it ain't crack. Crack is killing a lot of people. And we all have people that's addicted to some type of drug in our family. I get it. It's an epidemic. I get it. But it's been an epidemic for us. Guess what it's new to? Not us. Sorry about that. So what racial equality is these smoke kits for? Because the epidemic is affecting you guys. Y'all never seen nothing like this. Man, you put crack cocaine in our society since the, mid-70s? We used to this. We actually getting better. Because we get to see generations of people strung out. Everybody's seen a crackhead and be like, I don't want to do that. That's the best advertisement for not doing drugs, to see a crackhead. Snot coming out their face, stealing shit, asking for 5 cents. That's a pretty damn good deterrent. And we've had this deterrent all our lives, because there's one in every family. They made songs about it. Just think about it. You see that famous crackhead on the corner that come in and mess with you every day. And you be like, damn, you messed up. I can't never touch that. I can't try. You don't even want to be curious no more. Now, I see when it first came out, because everybody getting how they experiment, and they want to say, oh, what this do? Oh, what this do? But shit, after you see that brother on the corner, you like, oh, no, I'm good. I don't need these problems. You know? So it seems like y'all are going through it. It's your turn. And it's hard. It really is. But just like we need to handle our kids, you have to handle your kids too. We're not the only people that's going through a problem. This whole country is going through a problem. Social media is raising all our kids. They're dictating policy. Society is telling us what we can and can't do. We have no free thinkers. We have very little leaders. We have very little people that will come out and speak sense, because you're so busy trying to do what society tells you to do. You're so busy trying to fit into this puzzle. I've always been an outcast since I was a kid. If everybody was listening to this music, I'm going to look over here. If everybody says this is the funnest place, I'm going to go over here. Because in my travels, People just copy off of one another because at the end of the day, they have a need to be accepted. I'm telling you, you don't need to be accepted. I'm telling you, love yourself. I'm telling you, love others in your community. Those are next to you. As they would say, your kin and kith. And I know a lot of you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about we all family at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that we should push out anybody else of any other color or race. But I'm saying we got to fix our own problems because nobody's going to fix it for us. They think they were fixing it for us, but I know that these were just traps that they put in to stop us from gaining wealth. Because that's the whole supremacy culture for the good old USA. Put these traps, make sure you don't get wealth. Because if you get wealth, then you get power. And if you get in charge, what would you do? Are you going to do the same thing that they done to us? Probably not. Probably not. Probably think about it a couple times. But probably not. Because we ain't them type of people. For real, Black Americans are some of the most caring, most inquisitive, most friendly people. If you take time to speak to a Black person, if you're not Black already, you would be surprised. Because we actually accept everyone. We actually don't care what color you are. We know what sadness feels like. So when you go through something, we can empathize. Because we wouldn't want it to be done to us. It's been done to us our whole lives. So we actually care. We see somebody getting picked on because they different, because they look different, because they a certain race. We'll be the ones to say something. We've been going through it our whole lives. Stereotypes won't tell you that. Stereotypes will tell you that we're aggressive, we're criminals, we're unintelligent. None of these things are true. I wish they would do a census on how many Black people live in the suburbs, how many Black people do not live in the projects compared to those that do. And there's some great ones in the projects too that are not going to fall to societal norms, that are not going to fall to stereotypes. But I look at it like hypnotism. When they play that new music video, when they play that new gangster movie, they just swinging the pendulum in front of you. But you know the thing about hypnotism? Everybody can't be hypnotized. And the ones that don't get hypnotized, they're called outcasts. You shun them. They're not part of your group because shit, the whole US is about groups. What you think race is? Does it even exist? No. It's a competition. And you don't have no choice but to join this game. You have no choice because they're going to put you in a group and they're going to tell you this is your group. You cannot go out this group. You can mingle. You can work amongst. But at the end of the day, the government considers you this group. And you have no choice in the matter. So you better run. We all running. Every race is running. And some people are getting quite crafty at it. And I'm telling my people that I love much, that's been there for me my whole life, that I want to give back to, that I want to see great in the future, because I know how great we really are. I've seen it. We've done some amazing things in these United States of America. And you deserve to be proud. You deserve to be acknowledged. You deserve to be treated like a human being. Because that's all we really want. Ask anybody. Ask any Black person. What do you really want? Just want to be treated like a human being. Because most of us don't know what that feel like. See, we got a lot of Negroes today that are totally blinded, that are 100% in the matrix, and they say things like, I've never seen racism, and they think they're all included, and then when it happens, it's such a culture shock to them. See, not me. I've been seeing it since the beginning of time, since a kid. So when I see it, it doesn't bother me because I expect it. I know who the allies and who the enemy is. And the enemy is not a particular race. That's false. It's a group, it's a clique, it's a set. And it all comes and starts with money. And if you ain't part of that group, clique, or set, there's nothing you can do to me, really. You can't really look down on me. You can't really treat me no type of way. You don't have the power to oppress me. Sorry. I'm doing a lot better than a lot of y'all. So in no way, shape, or form am I telling anybody to stay away from anybody. What I'm telling you is focus on your culture. What I'm telling you is teach your kids different. What I'm telling you is don't let nobody program your seed, because your seed's going to grow and it's going to be a part of you left when you're gone. And that's the only thing that will save our people, because the kids are the future for real, for real. And I'm just talking facts on facts on facts on facts. Because you can get in that community and you can have all these organizations and you can help this person and you can help that person. But as long as the narrative is getting pushed through music and movies that we are gangsters and savages, there will never be a change. There will only be a decline. And the fix is free. It is free. So I hope it starts by the sound of my voice. I hope it starts by spreading messages like this. Now, I know people love negativity, and I know people don't want to learn. You know why? Because society tells you it's not cool to learn, because they want you to be a gangster. You got to push that knife. You got to get low. You got to hit them in the head with the... This is what they tell you to do. But if you ever done these things and you're not just watching, what has it ever done for you? It take one time for real. You go to jail and you see ain't no women in there, and you see ain't nobody got no love for you. It make you want to change. That's a big fact. But some of us don't, because we worried about what other people gonna say. Oh, you weak. You this, you that. Man, it don't matter what nobody think about you. It matter what you think about you. So what we gonna do? Is we gonna cry about Joe Biden? Are we gonna cry about Trump if he get back in there? Are we gonna cry about any other Caucasian that they might put in that White House that don't care about you? And even if they put somebody that look like you, trust me, he ain't gonna care, because there's too many people behind them that's telling them, no, you can't do this, and no, you can't do that. The money talk, people don't. So regardless, any puppet that they put in front of that TV and make their mouth move and say the narratives that they want you to know, they're not going to do nothing for you. So quit depending on these white people to take care of you because they hate you. Because you were never supposed to be here after slavery. They just didn't know how to dispose of you. You were a tool, you were cattle, you were useless to them. And you want them to save you. You're shocked when they do things like this. But you ain't trying to get equality. You doing it for the gram. You trying to take that pic for Facebook. You trying to get them likes up. And you gonna sit here and cry about some Joe Biden, who's no different than Ronald Reagan, who's no different than Jimmy Carter, who's no different than Kennedy, who's no different than Richard Nixon, and so on and so forth. We can go back to George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Same name, different game. Politics. You notice when people talk about jail, they talk about politics. So, how does something that's supposed to be helpful be in a negative environment like jail? Maybe because they're evil, underhanded, unconducive, and used for gain. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm losing my mind. But black men be fathers. Black women be mothers. This is not a competition between none of us. And we can do it. That woman teaches that son. That man teaches that daughter what her man should be. How he should treat her. How he should provide for her. And it trickles down from there. Easiest solution. And another thing, those educated Negroes that get successful and move out, come back and help the uneducated Negro because you were there. Don't act like you're better because you took the time to read a book. You took the time to figure out and learn, because they can learn too. They just might need a little push, and you might just be that person to push them in the right direction. So don't look down on them like the others look down on us. Help the uneducated ones. Educate them. You can't help everybody, but you sure damn could try. And we won't be worried about smoking crack because we'll be uplifting our people with the solutions y'all talk about. Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing y'all. Oh, what's the solution? Oh, we need to do this, brother. Brother, we need to get together. We need to come and help this with this and do that. And the men are warriors. No. All we need to do is teach our kids. It's kind of simple. It's the easiest thing you could do. But I can't do it myself, because if I teach my kids and you don't teach your kids, that's not helping. We have to do it collectively. The Nation of Islam been trying to re-educate Negroes since their indoctrination. See, but whenever you add religion to anything, it's just a divide. We're separating because you believe in this and I believe in that, and we're separated. So let's take the part that's good out of their teaching and do it collectively with no separation. There's no religion involved. It's just survival. We can come together on one accord for that. Survival. Upliftment. Placement. Economic power. Just be a parent. Teach your kids better. Lead by example. Don't tell your kids not to smoke and then you go up in your room and get high. Don't tell your kids not to pick up guns and you was the biggest gangster back in the day and you brag about it. Tell these kids what consequences mistakes had, because one thing about America, you gonna suffer for your mistakes, and they don't forgive. That's a fact. I don't care how boring you think it is to hear positivity. You can't argue my logic. America will punish you for every single thing they catch you doing, and they will never forgive you. So you got to be on top of the game, man. You got to tell these kids that, because they don't know. They make mistakes. America don't let you make mistakes. And if you do make mistakes, you better not get caught, because we're going to hold that over your head forever. Take care of your kids. Teach your kids. Teach them right from wrong. And you know, they do a lot of things that's hard to overcome. Like they do things like make you work doubles, because your money's not worth what it used to be. And that's something that I'm working on. I don't have the answers to everything, but that's one of the hardest things, because we spend so much time away from our kids because we gotta, put food on the table. We gotta pay that rent. And we don't have access to jobs like that. So sometimes we got to do some embarrassing shit. Sometimes we got to clean toilets, mop floors, cook a burger. But in the name of taking care of your kids, you's a superstar, superhero, an X-Men. You got a superpower. And you know, a lot of people wouldn't do that, but we do. So I'm proud of all of y'all that swallow your pride and do what you got to do for your little ones, because there's a lot of y'all out there, but we got to do it collectively in big numbers and fast. That computer is going to teach your kids something you don't want it to teach. Because think about it like this, for all the old heads out there. You remember when your mom used to say, man, you one of the worst kids I've ever seen. You take it to heart. You be like, oh, man, I'm horrible. What's wrong with me? I need to get it together. See, but when you tell a kid that now, they go on YouTube and they see somebody stabbing their mom, calling her a B, acting a fool. And they like, no, I'm not. We didn't have all these problems. It's great to connect, but there's some things that kids shouldn't be exposed to that they're exposed to today. And they believe that Facebook more than you. Let them learn something on Facebook about the president. And I don't care how stupid it is or how much of a lie it is. If you try to tell them the truth because you watch CNN or whatever, they ain't listening. Because you ain't smarter than Facebook. Sorry about that. Take care of your kids. Spend time with your kids. Leave an impression on your kids. That's a part of you. How do you not care about you? You know? That part gonna let you live forever. So let's be great. Because we really are. If you look at all the things that we've accomplished on this little time, in this country alone, man, we won that race. Will we get credit for it? No. Because it's about money at the end of the day. So, what are these free smoking kits, safe smoking kits gonna do for us? Oh, it's gonna stop the spread of AIDS. It's gonna stop hepatitis. It's gonna cut down on COVID cases, maybe. Funny. We had 99% of these things before now. Why now? Why didn't you put crack pipes out there in the 80s? Probably more people smoking crack then, because for real, I mean, we could play a game called Find the Crackhead or Find a Heroin Addict and see which one we find first. I thought crack was falling off. But I'm tripping. Maybe I bumped my head. Choose what you're mad at very carefully. Emotions can be used as motivation. Don't waste your emotion. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the motivation. Because there's bigger things that we could be mad at right now. There's bigger things that we can come together and attack as a group right now. How about equality? Because like I said, we're not the only people that smoke crack. You people are great. You just don't know it. You know why? Because they spent all this time telling you that your people have never done anything. Look in the history books. All you see is their accomplishments. They're world beaters. That's what the books say. The books say they can do anything. The books say they God. The books say they the president. What are you? You're a slave. That's what the books say. You get beaten. You get treated like shit. You'll never be shit. They won't let you. That's what the books say. Where's my upliftment? Where's my hope for the future? I can't see greatness in my DNA. All lies. Even though we went through what we went through it better than anybody else ever could. Came out on top again as they hid all our history, all our greatness. That's what my channel about. Your greatness, my greatness. This is what made me want to do this. Because I could be spending my time doing other things. I give a damn about clout. I don't want to be popular. I don't care if you agree with me. What I do care about is for y'all to know the truth. What I do care about is to see y'all do better. Because I see the greatness in myself. I see my greatness in you. You see your greatness in your kids. And we all should be a reflection of one's greatness. I don't know. What's it going to take? Because your outrage is fake. Your outrage is false. Your outrage is ignorant. Because they never cared about you. Why are you making a big deal now? You should have been making a big deal. You should have been in the streets. You should have been trying to teach your kids better. But nah, it's better to make a video on YouTube. It's better to make a post on Facebook. It's better to post a picture on Instagram and fake my outrage. And maybe if I throw a bigger tantrum, I'll be a little cooler that day. Maybe if I kick my feet and stomp my hands and slap people around and say, what are we doing? Maybe I get a couple likes that day. Because at the end of the day, all we want to do is be the cool guy. All we want to do is clout chase. Look at me, look at me. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't look at me. Look at the problem. How do we fix it? The simplest solution you've ever heard in life. Raise your children. Teach them better. Spend time with them. You know how people say, oh, you got to love yourself. You got to eat right and work out. No different. Loving that child is loving yourself. Giving that kid knowledge is working out your lineage. This is our legacy. We are all going to leave this earth. And we're going to have a tiny representative left behind us. And what is your representative going to do in the name of your memory? Are they going to help the world? Or are they going to hurt the world? Are they going to bring life? Or are they going to take life? So I can care less what Biden writes in the office. I can care less if Trump gets in what he writes in the office. Because one thing I can guarantee about whatever they write in the office, whatever they put in that bill, whatever they pass through Congress, it will not help you. And even if it has a cool little title, even if it has the mentioning of you in it, at the end of the day, it will not help you. So spend $30 million on crack pipes. Spend $7 billion on crack. If you teach your kids right from wrong, start a new culture and positivity, it will not matter. Because if we are upright people, we won't fall for anything. I'm Rome the Great. Please say the great. This is Godlike Entertainment. And I just want to say I appreciate the time spent. I hope I haven't offended you with my opinions. They're brash, but my heart is good. So I want to say peace out. I mess with y'all. Hope y'all mess with me. Happy Black History Month. And I'm out. You feel me?